Hey folks, Jonathan here. Went a little bit of forklift crazy here lately. Just want to show you a couple things I picked up. So this is an R80 Caterpillar forklift, considered an off-road or an all-terrain forklift. It's a big forklift, but it's only an 8,000 pound lift, and I think they done that because it was a single tire. Now this is a Perkins engine. It's going to be a 236, and engine is stuck and pretty good shape otherwise. Looks bad, but that's nothing that can be cleaned up pretty easy, and excuse me, and some paint put on it. And this, man, I think this thing goes like 32 foot or something. It's crazy how high it goes. It's got some fork extensions made on it. Someone's built, they're about 8 foot total. It does have side shift. Like I said, it's all terrain. Tires are flat on the front. That wouldn't be a big issue there. They're tubeless. Blow them back on, and they'd probably be all right. So what happened with this thing? Okay, there was no air cleaner on it, and I don't know if you can see, there is a trail running through here of water. The tire, it was leaning, and water got right here, and it run right in and ran right into the engine. Now, is the engine wrong? I don't know. Probably, I'd say so. Now, I do have a 236 I can put in it. So that's not a big issue. And we're probably gonna do that. Okay, I was looking for actually like a 20,000 to 30,000 pound forklift, which is a huge forklift. And they're not gonna be around as much as what, something smaller, 10 or 8,000 pounds gonna be. And when you find them, sometimes you can get them cheap, sometimes they're expensive. But this particular forklift I bought because it was for scrap weight. It was going to go to the junkyard. So I can't get hurt on it price wise. But it was kind of one of them situations where there was another one the next day that came up that was also going to go to the junkyard that I kind of liked a little bit better. So I bought it too, and here it is. So there's a big difference between these two lifts. This is a 10,000 pound lift, so the other one's 8, this one's 10, and this might be capable of a little bit more than that, but this is a very early lift. This is a 1957, 58, around there. Champ, made in Los Angeles, California. Flathead Chrysler 6-cylinder, and the big difference between these two units is this one's an 89 model, and of course, like I said, this one's a 58, 59, something like that. And the big difference is the drive system. So what you've got is an engine, transmission, and a reverser. So the transmission would be a 4-speed truck transmission with reverse taken out, and then there'll be a separate transmission that bolts to that that's a reverser that's got forward and reverse in it. So you got two levers. You got one that's your 4-speed lever, and then you got your other lever right here that is your forward and reverse lever. So it's pretty simple. There's not much to them. As long as they'll stay in gear and not pop out of gear, they're pretty decent setups. All right, this one is going to be different. This has got a shuttle shift. So it's got the same style 4-speed transmission, but it's got a torque converter, so it's got to have a charge pump and it's a shuttle shift. So it'll actually shift forward and reverse from the lever up top. And here is your 4-speed transmission, and first and second, third and fourth. But you can see somebody has welded a piece here to block out the other two, and why I don't know, but it's definitely got third and fourth blocked out. And I mean, it could be a company that didn't want people to go fast. There's always that possibility. So I think what we're going to do is probably this machine here, and I'll give you a walk around here. The sun's kind of crazy today, and so we've got big forks, but they're short. Nice mass, 6-inch cylinder. That's why I say I think it's capable of more than 10. Okay, we got the same issue with this one as we had with that one. Engine's been rained in. Carburetor was missing, and you can see rust down in there in the intake port, and put it in gear and try to pull it, and it just slides. So it's definitely stuck. And I don't know that I want a gas engine in it. So we're going to think about putting a diesel in it. But first I'm going to pull the head, because if it's not really bad, it might be fixable. If not, I've located a 600 diesel. I've actually got a Mercedes diesel, but I've also come up with another diesel 600 that out of a Hyster forklift we made check on. But that's the plan. We're going to try to get a bigger forklift together, because I'm really stretching mine to the limit. It's a 5,000 pound lift, and I don't do as good driving around. It's never had a low gear, it's always just had high, and it don't get stuck bad, but it just don't have a lot of power. So we're going to see what we can do about getting this one together, and we'll probably go ahead and put the engine, that Perkins engine, in that one, and clean it up, fix the tires, and just turn it, sell it, let it go. It's, engine swap's not a 2 or 3 day job, so it's not a big deal. And I kind of like this machine, even though this machine's not nearly as valuable as that one, with it being older and with it being a Champ instead of a Caterpillar. It's to me, it's more what I need or what I want to work with and use. So, all right, well, we're going to pull the head off this thing in this video and check it out, see if this thing's going to be something that we can possibly save without pulling the engine. Yeah, unfortunately they had it covered, but I don't know if you can see in the hole there, but it's rusty. So like I said, spark plugs are rusted where the water has sit in there. Let's have the hood off. So anyway, we're going to yank the head off and just get ourselves an idea of whether we can even do anything with it or not. All right. Okay, folks, so the head is off. This is a 265 Chrysler Industrial engine, and one of the things about this engine is it has a cover that gives you a place to mount your hydraulic pump. So it's gear driven, so you got a double pump on this. So you got one, because this don't have a torque converter, but it's got one for the power steering and one for the regular hydraulics. So this is actually a governor. And so anyway, like I said, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but I could see it was wet, and you can see where these plugs have had water around them. So the head's ready to come off. I have not popped it, loosened it yet, so we're going to see how bad or how good it is. Alright, so I'm really confused. Okay, so she's stuck. Probably this cylinder is the worst one. It may be okay though. We'll probably get it freed up. You can see we got some valves stuck. But we didn't roll the engine over. So somebody rolled this engine over and these valves come open and stuck on them, not on me. Because there wouldn't be two valves open if it didn't roll over. So somebody might have been trying to start it, but I just seen something that just don't make a bit of sense to me. You notice there's quite a bit of antifreeze in that hole. Now there's antifreeze in here. Now I did drain the bottom radiator, and I guess because this water pump is as high as it is, it didn't let me drain it all. I should have drained that block. So that's my mess up. But we'll get that antifreeze cleaned up out of them cylinders. It's not a big issue. So what I seen though that really didn't make any sense, that is really out there. Okay. I hadn't looked this over good. I just noticed it when I pulled it off. It almost looks like it has a hole in the cylinder head. Right there. That is not making any sense to me. Let me get something poke in there. Okay, we got a little straw off of a WD-40 can or something here. Would you look at that? It went in 1.5 inches. How and why? That's something that I've never seen before in my life. How would we get a hole in the cylinder? That's just crazy. Alright, let's look above it. Okay, I'm wondering if it's lined up with this. And is it in a water jacket? Alright, let me take that out. We're going to try to see if this is in a water jacket, because this don't make any sense to me. Why the thing's like that, and it's just really bothering me. Alright. Okay folks, that's definitely something new on me. I took that plug out, and this goes all the way through, but I don't think it's water jacket. Why would it have a port into the cylinder? I've never seen that before. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some checking maybe online and see if that's normal, or see what's going on with that, because that's just kind of blows my mind there. It don't seem to be going into a water jacket, but I don't know. But anyway, so we know the water went in through the carburetor. Come up. You probably don't have a lot of water in the cylinders because of, you know, being a flathead. A little bit of spray, some rags. We might be able to get this unstuck. I mean, we're not looking for a machine that we're going to drive to California, you know, drive back to California. I guess it was made in California, but we are looking for something we can be dependable. Use a little oil wouldn't be a big issue. So we'll probably try to get this cleaned up and see if we can get it unstuck. Best way to get this unstuck is going to be pulling the starter off and prying with the teeth. That's where you get your most leverage at. But I think I think it may be okay. This is the worst one, and it don't seem to be that bad. And it's definitely not cracked because it's holding antifreeze. So get the valves unstuck. Probably pull the intake off, because I know it's rained through that intake a lot. So that's where we're at. We're gonna try this out here before we just go to jumping in and throwing another engine in, and see if we can get this thing running. And like I said, at least another one safe from the junkyard. And I thought this was just the coolest thing, the way this thing was made. It's, you know, it's the 58 Chevrolet style. Almost looks like a 58 Chevrolet truck to me. So neat as can be. Looks like we just got 20-inch tires on it, 10/120s. Pretty easy to replace if we need to. The 6-lug, and that's a lug piloted, so it wouldn't be hard. We could put even 19.5s on it if we wanted to, which I don't think they'd be handle as much weight. But we'll run these cold caps until they go away if it runs. So our cylinders hadn't been moved in a long time, so we want to clean this up. Even though it's plated, we're going to clean this up before we tilt this thing back. Unfortunately, the chrome's mostly missing. You know, when you park this stuff, you're best to park it with the cylinder all the way in. You know, I've had people over the years, I worked on a lot of records for other people years back, and people would park them with the booms up real high, and then the booms would get pitted and rust, and then or the cylinder would, for the booms. If they'd just left them down, they wouldn't have had that issue. We got some issue on the side shift here. But you know, worst comes to worst, we can make shafts. It's not you know, miracle work or nothing to make a shaft for one. So pretty easy, not that much to them. So that's where we're at, and looks like we're just kind of crazy on forklifts. If somebody knows something about this stuff and this plug and why this thing had a hole all the way into the cylinder. I mean, I'm sure it's supposed to be there. I just never seen it before. And yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the besides needing cleaned up, needing to get them plugs out of it. So we'll keep at it, and next video we'll be trying to get this thing unstuck, because we might as well go ahead and try to get it running. Do a first start video on it. I think it'll go. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.